Welcome, I'm Professor N.T. Wright, and I want to invite you to this course on the Gospel of Matthew. I've read and taught on and written about the Gospels, and not least the Gospel of Matthew, for decades. But in preparing for this course, I was encouragingly surprised by just how much jumped out at me as new. I was particularly struck by the way in which Matthew introduces Jesus early on in terms of the Exodus story and then concludes his gospel with the final Passover, thus providing an overall frame. And I never before really reflected on the way in which the book ends with an echo of the end of the Hebrew Bible, so that having begun with the new Genesis in chapter 1, Matthew ends with the new Chronicles, displaying Jesus and his story as the fulfillment and recapitulation of the entire canonical narrative. All this then goes with the well-known Matthean themes of Jesus' authority, Jesus as Emmanuel, God with us, and faith as the vital human response. In this course, we'll particularly be looking at the structure and artistry of Matthew's Gospel, to ask what it can tell us about who Matthew thinks Jesus is, and who Jesus thought he was. Strategically placed within Matthew's story are 5 teaching or discourse sections. For any early Christian coming out of the Jewish world, this 5-fold structure would echo and invoke not only the 5 books of Moses, but also the 5 books of the Psalms. In that way, Matthew picks up the expectations of Israelite messianic hopes, displaying Jesus as the answer to the question, what would it look like for God to return in person? I hope you'll be able to join us for this robust but exciting course on the Gospel of Matthew.